Greetings, friends, family, and survivors. Well, we've been doing some rescues recently, and this is the time of year when they start to become more frequent. And so the car trailer with the winch has been real handy lately, and we already went on a recovery with that. Getting the snowmobiles ready soon. I think the first week of December, I'm going to drop those off at a shop and have them gone through, make sure they don't leave us stranded when we're up and back. But it seemed to me that this was really going to save me a lot. This is the 2000 amp GB70 NOCO Boost. It's a lithium battery jumper. And there's a lot of advantages into having one of these. So typically what would happen is I'd have to chain up my truck, all four, and go way up the mountain to get to somebody to help jumpstart their car. Well, there'd be no way to park next to their car because when it died, they didn't put it in a spot where you could get next to it. So I'd have to take a battery out of my truck and then some jumper cables and haul it up the mountain and try to jump their car. This does the same thing in a nice little package. So I got this one, and I bought one of these, one of the highest powered boosters or chargers that you can get. And so this one is a 56 watt. It's a AC power on this side. So it's like a rapid charger. The rapid charger obviously has European, Russian, I think one of those is Asian, different power cords. Probably throw those away, never use them. Now the NOCO Boost comes with this adapter, and this adapter works both ways. You can charge by plugging into a cigarette lighter, or you can plug this part in to the NOCO Boost, and then it becomes a 12-volt power supply. And that's what that is. And then this is just a USB 2.1 amp USB micro USB charger, and there's a spot to plug that in. So I am not sponsored. I didn't get any money off in buying this. We bought it with our own money for the mission, and I just wanted to share with you something that I think is really going to help an awful lot. I'm not sponsored in any way. And the other thing is the Badlands Apex remote control. One of the things is when you're the only person there on a recovery and snow recovery, my remote control lanyard for the winch on my truck is 15 feet long, and it's long enough to reach the cab. But sometimes I'm not in the cab of the truck. I might be 100 feet away, and that's where this thing comes in real handy. So this little transmit receive module just plugs right into the winch, and then this will work easily from 100 feet away. And if the battery dies in this, there's a cord here that you can plug directly into the winch, and that's going to help an awful lot. So another upgrade that we did on the winch, because I'm by myself a lot, I took the steel wire rope off, and I've got that to keep it out of the sun, and I put a synthetic line on it and went with a billet and took the roller fair leads off. And the advantage of this is they're really easy to unwind. So you just put it in free spool, and you can grab the rope and run with it. It's also longer and stronger than the wire rope, the steel wire rope. So that helps an awful lot. And especially when you're trying to wind it back up, these are a whole lot more forgiving, and you don't get those wicker burrs that run through your gloves. So when you're in foul weather, especially getting people unstuck in the snow, and a synthetic line just so much easier to deal with than the steel ones. So December 1st, I've got an appointment to take the sleds in and have those things ready for winter. And I have one more project for this, hopefully before the snow gets deep, for the snow plow. I've got a radio controlled controller for the plow, and I don't like it because it kind of has a delay, and it's hard to get a sense for a feel for where you are. And so I bought all of the stuff that I need to put a reversing relay in it, and manual remote control with a cord that plugs in with a socket that I can put under the dash, and just plug this in with these quick connectors, and then plug this remote control into a socket underneath the dash of the Jeep, and then a real positive up and down with no delay. And hopefully I'll get that done before the snow. So it has been really, really busy. Busy pastoring at the church and busy doing missionary work. A couple days ago, a neighbor called. They had 7 or 8 horses without water. Their froze pipes in their well house because they were doing remodeling, and they were actually insulating it at the time. And I don't know if their door got left open or what, but they called and said, "You wouldn't happen to have such and such a valve?" So I did. I had a valve and went down there and got their water going. And yesterday, another neighbor had a friend helping them cut firewood down, and the friend helped them knock the windshield out of their truck, and they couldn't see through it to drive to town to have a new windshield installed. So they got a windshield at a junkyard, and they brought it over yesterday, and we installed the new windshield in their truck. So that's a lot of what missionary work is. You love people right where they're at. You help them with their needs, whatever that might be. Physical, psychological, spiritual, emotional. You minister to them whatever their needs are, because that's what love does. Love is an action verb. Love does not just talk. Love does the right thing. Just like faith. Faith is an action verb. Faith moves. It doesn't just sit there. And so that's what we do, is we help people where they're at with whatever they need, and talk about the love of God through faith in Jesus while we're doing it. Now, a whole lot of ministry has been going on that I haven't been able to film, and there's a reason why. I don't want to uncover people. A lot of the people that I help are living in abject poverty, and they're not proud of their living conditions. And so I haven't even asked if I could film. When there's an opportunity where I can film and give them an opportunity to give a testimony or something, I have done in the past and will do in the future, but I don't want to exploit people in their situations at all. So I'm just going to tell you about what we've done for now. There's several other solar jobs that I'm going to be working on. I hope to be able to film those. Those are also similar situations where people are living in real rough conditions, and we don't want to uncover anybody. So we'll see what I can do about that and filming some of those things. And I have a major solar upgrade to do here. I was hoping to do this fall, but I ran out of time, so I'll probably have to wait till spring. But the plan is to put 8,000 watts of inverter power out here to the shop. So that's what we're planning. Hopefully it'll get done. We've got all the parts, I just got to get it done. So what I've been doing out here, I've got enough power to run the saws on our regular solar system, and the house and the shop run on one 4,000 watt inverter. And of course it's capable of, I think, like 6,000 watts for a half hour or something like that. So it's pretty robust, those Magnum inverters. It's plenty to run skill saws and the table saw and all that. The radial arm saw, it doesn't start real fast, but once it's up and running, it runs fine. And a lot of it's just a distance between here and the solar shed, which is it's 170 feet from here. So with this compressor, which I used yesterday to use a burr wheel on a die grinder, one of these guys, to get the rubber compound out of the area where the windshield goes on the truck, and a burr wheel make it about a half-hour job, where sandpaper and a chisel of some kind might take all day. But this compressor does not run on our inverter. In fact, it barely starts on the 4,500 watt generator. So that inverter generator, if I take it off of economy mode and I use the 30 amp outlet, when it's down in the teens, and it was when I was trying to start it, it took 3 or 4 times to finally get the compressor to start. And once the compressor warmed up, then it just lit off effortlessly. So I need more power out here. I've got bigger generators, several bigger generators, but the nice thing about that one is I just wheel it over here, park the exhaust out the door there, and I've got a remote control key fob. I just hook it on my belt. When I'm done with the power, I just push a button and it turns itself off. And that's pretty handy, but I don't want to do that forever. And that's why we'd like to get some more power out here for sure. So what I had to do, it's warmed up now. It's 35 now, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's been heating all day to get to 35 degrees. And actually, I just checked, it's 30 outside and dropping. It's supposed to be 7 degrees tonight. So this little heater actually made it warm enough in here. Yesterday, I was able to get it to about 45 degrees. And 45 degrees, you can work without gloves easily. 35, I'm good at 35, as long as the wind's not blowing. But when you're down in the teens and you're doing fine motor skill works, that's hard to do with gloves on. So it's nice to be able to take a break and come over and get your hands warm. And this actually was projecting a lot of heat into this room, even though it's not insulated at all. So that's worked out really, really well. And I ordered another diesel heater, and that'll be here next week. I'll install it. It's a bench top, and it's going to exhaust out through the wall, and it's 27,000 BTUs, and I'll probably do a review on that. Again, not sponsored, just kind of showing you stuff that works for me. I don't know if you're interested in that kind of stuff beyond solar and homesteading, but I have another wire welder. It's a Hobart handler, and it's an old school, probably weighs 70 pounds, big old transformer. And it doesn't run well on the solar system at all, even though it's the same amperage potential as this one. This one's an SCR driven type. That thing weighs about 18 pounds, and it's an SCR type, like the LN2 welders, more modern welders. So this thing runs just fine. I can run it on full power on the solar system without any trouble at all. So my big stick welder requires 60 amps at 240 volts AC. So that isn't going to work here for us with any solar system that I might have. So you have to kind of adapt. So Mr. Gibbs and I thought we'd share a couple of things with you that we've been doing. I haven't had a chance to post a video in quite a while. Just been incredibly busy. So that's what's going on. Hope everybody's doing well. Have a blessed night.